By far, the question we get asked the most is, can I retire? I've been doing this for about 27 years now, so I'll cut to the chase and tell you that if you can check off these 4 things, then you're well on your way and possibly ready to even retire today. Oh, and spoiler alert, 2 of these things are obvious, but the other 2 might catch you by surprise. Let's dive into it. Now, I'll tell you that the first 2 on my list are things that we can help you with here in our office at Stonehouse. The last 2 things are going to take some real serious thinking on your part. So let's jump right into the first item, a living list. One of the best habits I picked up in recent years is using the Notes app on my phone to create a running list of projects and tasks that I need to get done all the time. So usually every Friday night or over the weekend, I'm checking off things on that list, and through the week, I'm building it back up again. It helps me get a ton of things done, keeps me organized. It also motivates me to plan ahead for some of the bigger items on that list. So where am I going with all this? Let's say that you decide to hang up your hat this coming Friday. No more work, you're officially retired. What are you doing on Monday? On Tuesday? How about the next week or so? That sounds like a kind of an easy question to answer, right? That's because we've all taken 1-week vacations, and we always find out that we don't have enough time to squeeze in all that stuff we wanted to do into that 1 week. But this is way different. We're talking about the rest of your life here. And I can tell you from personal experience that there are 2 types of people that enter into retirement. You have people who have a long bucket list of things they want to do, whether it's around the house or with their family or more places they want to go, experiences they want to have, whatever. And for those who really enjoy their retirement, right away, they begin crossing things off that list and doing things, but also they continue to add to that list. It never goes away. It never gets smaller, and certainly they never let it shrink down to nothing. It's a living, breathing part of their retirement. On the other hand, we have people that have no plan, no list of things they want to do, and really no idea what happens tomorrow. If you find yourself in that second group with no plan, no specific ideas of what to be doing, yours is the retirement that I worry the most about. I'll talk more about that in a few minutes, but let's stay on point here for this first topic. It's much easier for your financial planner, or even for yourself if you're a DIY kind of person, to know how much it's going to take to fund your retirement. Here's a great example. If you've ever been on a cruise before, then you know one couple can sometimes do a cruise on a shoestring budget. They say to themselves, hey, we're just going to be on the boat the whole time. We're pretty much going to stay on that boat. We're not getting off. We're not going to go out and do excursions, and we won't spend much money at all. We're just going to hang on the deck by the pool, overeat the large quantity of food that comes with the boat tickets. That's one way that you can do it. Another couple, they could throttle it up, do all the excursions every day. They can get off the boat at every stop. They can go shopping, go to all the restaurants, buy all those little trinkets from all the vendors that they pass by. And heck, they can even throw down money at the casino in some of these boats. But unless they're one of the lucky ones at the casino, they're going to really feel that in their wallet by the time they drive home. My point is that both couples are on the same boat. It's the same boat, totally different experiences and totally different costs. So having some sort of framework around the things that you hope to do makes all the difference in the planning of your retirement. Speaking of planning, that brings me to the second topic. Does the math work? This one's pretty obvious, but how much money or assets do you have saved up to fund whatever it is that you want to do in your retirement? It's pretty simple. It's the part where our Stonehouse advisors really roll up our sleeves and we dive into helping you. We just love doing this kind of work. And to some people, this seems like a pretty simple process, but to others, it can be intimidating. Normally, I would say there are 2 types of people in this category. The DIY type of people who really enjoy crunching their numbers and mapping out their futures and doing the research, and others who do feel intimidated lack confidence in making some of these very important decisions solely on their own research and their own understanding. Now, I will tell you that 20 some years ago, I believed that there were only those two types of people. But what I've been seeing more and more of in this last decade or so is a third category, sort of a hybrid of DIY. And I guess the way I would best describe it is it's a DIY person who eventually realizes they no longer need to or want to go it alone. And we work with a lot of very smart people who have led very successful careers, managed large teams and projects, even run their own business for decades. They go through this process. Then two things usually happen at the exact same time. Their trust in us ramps up, and their desire to spend their valuable retirement hours and days on all those details goes way down. And what we see is that during the time that we've been advising them, helping to guide them as they make some major decisions and get them on the right path, they often say, "You guys keep driving. I'm going to go enjoy the view out the window." I did a whole other video on that in the past, but whether it's you doing your own analysis or you asking for help from someone like Stonehouse, here's the basics you need to consider. How much do I have invested? How will I begin drawing on that money? Remember, it's time to start paying yourself. And how will I be taxed on that money? Now, we love here at Stonehouse diving into these details with you. We love walking you through visual aspects of how things are shaping up. And most importantly, we love to empower you. And I'm going to tell you something really important here. What's going to stress you out in retirement are all the things that are out of your control. Economic cycles, market swings, political landscape, headline news. What empowers you in retirement are all the things you can control. Your expenses, your lifestyle, your tax bracket, your investments. Here's what I mean when I talk about empowering our clients. Once you get a visual of what your base plan looks like today, we can show you all these different factors and how they might change your future outcome. What if my expenses go up by $2,000 a month? What if I don't see as much growth in my investments? What if inflation tends to trend higher during my retirement? Or something like, what if Social Security benefits get decreased in the future? This kind of visual representation empowers you because not only will you understand the ranges of where you need to be, but also the effects of each major decision you'll need to make. And believe me, when life throws you the curveballs, we know it's going to, right? When it does, this kind of view makes it easy to adjust and determine the best way forward. Now, these last two items are going to require you to do some serious thinking. And the first one is, are you ready to leave? There really needs to be at least one of two things happening in your life at any given time. Either something is pushing you out of where you work and you can't wait to get out of there, or something's pulling you into retirement because it's so exciting. Maybe both. If both are happening in your life right now, you feel like it's time to move on, and there are things exciting about what you want to dive into, then it probably feels like the perfect time to leave. But what if only one of these is true? In that scenario, you might be on the fence and need to consider some other factors, which I'm going to talk about next. But what if you don't have either of these things really happening in your life right now, right? What should you do? Maybe you should stay the course. Just looking at retirement doesn't mean you must retire. We have plenty of clients that we've done the math for. The math looks fantastic, but they're enjoying their job. They enjoy their life, the mix of hard work and the projects and seeing those things to completion, alongside getting some family time and vacations and not having to leave their job right now. So if you're in that sweet spot of your career and no one's making you feel like you need to leave and nothing's compelling you to get into retirement ASAP, enjoy it. It is truly a sweet spot of your career. Not everybody gets that chance, but every month that goes by increases your probability of having a happy, successful retirement. Now, lastly, and maybe the most overlooked matter for launching into a great retirement is your circle of trust. That's right. I'm going full Robert De Niro Meet the Parents here. If you're fortunate to have others in your life who are super close to you, what's their take on this whole decision? And equally important, what's your take on how they'll view you? So what do I mean by that? Your life's work is a huge part of who you are. It has shaped you, and those around you know you as the person who does whatever it is you do. Who are you tomorrow if you retire? Have you thought about that? You should. It's really a real thing. I see clients sometimes struggle with this part of retirement, and it usually catches them by surprise. One of the best examples that I can give you is one of our clients, John, who was nice enough to share this whole story in a video we posted to our site. He talked about how he retired a few years before his wife did. She had no problem with it, but he did. That's right. He tells a really funny story about how he used to feel out of place all day around the house, and when 3 o'clock rolled around, he found himself going out to the garage out by the workbench to appear that he was doing things when his wife would come home. And he laughs about it now, but it really used to frustrate the heck out of him because he did everything else right. He planned, he saved, he crunched his numbers. Ultimately, he and his advisor were very confident he was ready to retire financially, but he did not anticipate that it would take him about 2 years to actually settle into retirement. So I strongly encourage you to give some thought to those close to you in that circle. Are they working now? Will they continue to work, or will they be retiring about the same time you are? How does all that play into your plans? In summary, let's review my 4 main points. 1, have a living list of what you want to get busy doing. 2, check the math to make sure you can afford it. 3, know you're ready to walk out of work and into retirement. And 4, check with your circle of trust folks and include them in your process. If you can confidently check off these 4 items, you're probably finally ready to step into that next chapter of your life. So I hope you are there, and I hope you're ready for it. Enjoy it.